The big news from today is Philip Rivers has decided to retire after 17 years in the National Football League. And I still remember when Philip Rivers was coming out of NC State back in 2004. All these scouts and all these analysts were tearing him apart for this awkward throwing motion that he had. And to be fair, it was an awkward throwing motion. But, Rivers would go on to basically have a Hall of Fame career with that same throwing motion. It just goes to show that sometimes we have our differences and we're unique in our own ways. But, Philip Rivers wasn't going to let that prevent him from becoming who he's supposed to be. And the thing that I always look back about his journey is, he always had this burning desire to succeed. He was always the toughest competitor on the field at all times. It's just rare that you see someone with that kind of passion where they just have that burning fire inside of them all the time. That was Philip Rivers. And, he's just this tall guy from Alabama that's trash talking everyone. I always liked him because he never backed down. All the fans seem to hate him just because he talked too much trash, but I always liked the way he did his thing and how he operated on the field. And, if you go back and look at what he did in that playoff game against the Buffalo Bills, he took the Buffalo Bills all the way down to the wire, and Rivers threw for over 300 yards. So I'm kind of curious how this played out. Did Indianapolis say, we got to get someone younger in here? And if they did do that, if Chris Ballard said, hey, Rivers, thank you, but we got to get someone else who's younger in the draft or trade for someone. I just don't know if some younger quarterback in the draft is going to be able to do what Philip Rivers just did for the Colts. I think that's a long shot, unless you just nail the perfect draft pick. But, even then, a rookie's going to have his learning curves. Philip Rivers understood what it took to be successful in the NFL. He understood what the defenses were throwing at him. That's why he went for over 300 yards against the Bills. They actually had a shot at winning that game. And, the quarterback and his receivers, that rhythm and timing gets better over the years. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams have been playing forever, and now their connection is better than ever. So, if I'm the Colts, I would have wanted to bring Rivers back and build on what those guys were able to do and maybe add some more weapons to the mix, because who knows, maybe a year from now you can get past, the Buffalo Bills. That's just my take on it. But, Rivers, he's got that coaching job lined up down there at a high school in Alabama. And I think what he's doing is he wants to honor his dad by going and being a high school football coach. So I think he's excited to get down there and just get his coaching career started. And I think the long-term goal for Philip Rivers will be to coach in the NFL someday. That would be the ultimate way to just, honor his dad, who was a high school football coach, who taught him everything he knew and actually paved the way for Philip Rivers to make it to the NFL as a quarterback. So I think that's why Philip Rivers is ultimately choosing to step away. And I'm looking forward to see what he does next. I think he's going to be a great football coach someday, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's a great football coach in the National Football League in the future. I'm John Kuzma. Check out endzoneblog.com.